Punishing Grey Raven Global is launching their most expensive patch yet, because it's not just one patch, it's 3 patches all merged together. The result? Over $1,000 worth of bundles sitting in the shop. This is stirring up a lot of controversy, so I'm going to explain why people are so mad, analyze the bundles, compare this to a regular patch, and tell you what I think you should do about it. To tell you the truth, I wasn't planning on covering this, but I have seen so much confusion and misinformation that even I didn't know what to think. But guess who was granted access to the global test server? Me! And I have spent hours upon hours of crunching numbers to bring you a nice, easy to understand rundown of what's going on in the top-up shop in the patch Stars Ensnared. Now, whether you're a free-to-play player, a spender, or if you're planning to quit PGR entirely, what's important is to have the facts. So I'm going to give them to you. Please keep in mind that everything here is based on the test server and is subject to change. So I've been following the discourse on this, and while most people are excited to catch up with the Chinese server, many players have brought up the strain the sped up schedule places on spenders, and rightfully so. In one patch, we now have 3 characters, which means triple the content and triple the expenses, all packed into 6 weeks. As a result, many players have announced they are quitting PGR completely, since they cannot keep up their standard level of investment. So let's address the elephant in the room. Can't spenders just spend less? After all, everyone will also be getting triple the pull currency by doing their dailies, weeklies, and other events. So, we'll all be eating good, right? No one has to buy triple the packs in the shop. And while that's true, it overlooks one thing: how many perks you get for your money over time. Low spenders may just buy a $5 monthly pass every patch. That gives them the reassurance that they'll be able to get every S rank and usually their signature weapon too. However, now that we're combining 3 patches into one, that $5 monthly pass turns into a $15 monthly pass to maintain the same level of assurance. This is exponentially worse for big spenders who may have been budgeting $50, $100, or even up to $400 a month to make the strongest team possible. And now enjoying that same amount of power comes at a much higher price. On top of that, characters are going to become outdated faster as Global rushes to catch up with the Chinese server. And it isn't just one patch. The devs are planning to have all servers caught up by the end of 2025, so after this, we'll probably be getting double patches all year. And while big spenders do appear to have expendable income, let's be real, no one has infinite money. The loudest request I've seen from the players is for the developers to discount the bundles to alleviate the strain. And things have changed for the Stars Ensnared top-up shop, but not in the way I expected. Stars Ensnared is debuting 1 S rank and 2 A ranks. Top-up shop-wise, this means we get 3 times the standard set of bundles plus 1 set of special S rank bundles. Most interestingly, there are 2 spending events happening simultaneously. Spending events track how many rainbow cards you spend. Rainbow cards, or RC, is the real money currency of this game. Meeting certain thresholds on the spending event will give you rewards. It's kind of like a buy one get one free deal, except not exactly buy one get one free and much more complicated. I'll explain. The first spending event, Gilded Renewal, was included in the original Chinese version of the patch, and the rewards max out by spending 1,000 RC, or approximately $170. The incentives include construct tickets for pulling S ranks and phantom pain cage scars, which get you S rank shards. Maxing out the rewards also gets you a free 6-star weapon selector up to Chu Shukra's weapon. More on that later. The other spending event, Fresh Dawning, runs simultaneously and seems to be completely unique to the synchronized patch. This event provides construct tickets only, and the incentive rewards max out by spending 2,000 RC, or about $340. Frankly, I wouldn't recommend trying to max this out if it's outside of your usual spending budget. There are lots of lower threshold rewards, and because we have 2 spending events, they'll fill up simultaneously. And this 6-star weapon selector is not worth 1,000 RC. You can get any 6-star weapon anytime on the weapon banner for much less, and the other rewards, like phantom pain cage scars, can be earned for free over time. However, if you happen to be spending money anyway, the rewards serve as a nice little bonus, and you can use the weapon selector for an older character or resonance material. Alright, let's move on to the meat of this video, the bundles. I'll be covering each pack in order of best deal to worst deal. I calculate this by taking the amount of pull currency and dividing the cost in rainbow cards. This gives me a rate of tickets you get per rainbow card. The higher the number, the better the deal it is, and we'll be starting with the best deals. Now, a lot of the bundles have other resources in them too, but their value can be really subjective, and trying to adjust for them was getting very complicated, so for this video, I'm only factoring pull currency into my calculations. Okay, great. I will also not be covering coatings since they are purely decorative. Buy them if you want to, but they only make your character cooler, not stronger. Alright, start the music! Monthly Pass A is still the best deal in the game with a rate of 110 BC per RC, and now there are 3 of them. One is in the usual place in the Monthly Pass tab, and the other 2 are in the shop here under the name BC Monthly Pass Supply. If this pass is all you're getting, I recommend buying the shop version first. That's because it mails you the daily BC, which means you don't even have to log in every day to get it. As usual, Monthly Pass A and Monthly Pass C are mutually exclusive, with Monthly Pass C being a little cheaper and provides a little less BC. It's only here for those who just want to buy a 28 RC pack. But if you're planning on spending more than that, the best deal starts here with Monthly Pass A. One 30 RC pack will also get you some spending event rewards, 1,000 construct tickets, and a couple other resources. If you get all 3 versions of Monthly Pass A, that's 90 rainbow cards for 10,500 BC if you include the spending event bonus. Best deal here. Next up is the encrypted intel, or as I like to call it, the Cub Battle Pass. If you're a low spender, you might want to skip this one, since Cub tickets aren't as useful as construct tickets. But if you do value Cubs, this is the second best deal. Along with Cub tickets, it also includes 5 construct inverse shards, which can be used on anyone up to Liv Imperia. Liv is really good at SSS rank, and as of right now, she's still meta, even in the Chinese version. Just like the Monthly Pass, you can buy it up to 3 times this patch, once from the Battle Pass screen and twice from the top-up shop. And the top-up shop version is more convenient, since it gives you most of your resources immediately and mails you the rest over time. That means you don't even have to log in or do your dailies to get them. Not that I recommend skipping your dailies, but still. Just note that the top-up shop version doesn't give you the boosted levels on your Battle Pass gauge. Only the original Battle Pass upgrade can do that. It has a fantastic rate of 83 tickets per RC, and if you get all 3, you'll hit 2 more spending event thresholds, which gives more concert tickets and Phantom Pancake Scars. Every S-Rank patch releases a couple of super discounted packs, and this patch is no exception. The Oblivion R&D ticket special offer is a small but great value pack with a rate of 58 tickets per RC, and there are 2 available. The Oblivion discounted R&D ticket is slightly pricier but has a great rate of 50 tickets per RC. The next best deal is Final Crown with a rate of 38.3. It mails the rewards slowly over time and can be purchased 3 times. Buying 2 of these bundles will get you to the next spending event threshold, so add them to the total. And I'll add the 3rd Final Crown bundle while I'm at it. Next up is the other Battle Pass upgrade, Top Secret Intel. Despite having a higher price and a lower rate of 36.8 tickets per RC, it's got some arguably better resources, such as 10 construct inverse shards you can use on anyone up to Liv Imperia, and construct tickets instead of Cub tickets. It also includes a weapon skin selector, which lets you choose a weapon skin for either Teddy, Han Ying, or Bombinata. Just like with the other Battle Pass upgrade, you can buy 2 in the shop and 1 from the Battle Pass screen. The former conveniently mails you the rewards automatically, but it doesn't upgrade your Battle Pass level. Buying 2 of these passes on top of everything else brings the grand total to 648 rainbow cards, or about $110. This grants another spending event bonus of concert tickets and PPC scars. Add the last Battle Pass to the tally and we'll get back to the bundles. The Moonlight Mirror Pack has a rate of 33.3 tickets per RC, which is what I would call an okay deal. You can get it 3 times. The Weapon Monthly Pass has a rate of 32.7 BC to RC. It includes BC, weapon tickets, and 30 6-star weapon resonance shards. Just like the other monthly passes, you can get 2 from the shop and 1 from the monthly pass page. Buying 2 of these brings our spending total to 1,044 RC, which is past the 1,000 RC threshold and earns you a bonus of 5,000 construct tickets and the 6-star weapon selector up to Chu Shukra. If you want to meet the 1,000 RC threshold without going so far over, you can spend 1,002 RC by skipping the Weapon Monthly Pass and getting these bundles on screen instead. Keep in mind, coatings also count towards the RC spending total if you want to go the fashion route. 1,000 RC is the last threshold for the first spending event, but there's still a second spending event that goes up to 2,000 RC, and we have more packs to analyze. So after getting all 3 Weapon Monthly Passes, let's just keep going. The Serum Monthly Pass provides a lot of serum, that's stamina in this game, as well as BC and construct tickets at a rate of 32 BC to RC. Once again, you have the option to buy 3 of them at once. The Dreams Sand bundle has a rate of 31.3 tickets per RC. Getting 2 of these gets you to the second to last spending event threshold and rewards 3,000 construct tickets as a bonus. There are 3 Dream Sand bundles available, so tally them up. Starweave Night has a value rate of 29.8 BC per RC, and this is the last of the okay deals before we get to the low value bundles. There are actually 4 Starweave Night bundles available, and if you buy 2, you'll hit the last spending event threshold of 2,000 RC and get a bonus of 3,000 construct tickets. Okay, stop the music. We're about halfway through our available packs, and we still have about $750 left to spend before this becomes a $1,000 patch. But we've reached the last spending event incentive, so let's take a short break to compare patches. Do you know how much money you can spend on a regular non-synchronized patch? I didn't, but I wanted to find out. So I counted up all the bundles, monthly passes, and battle passes in Polaris Bond, and found out you can buy a total of 79,400 tickets in BC for 2,685 RC. That's about $456 and doesn't even include any coatings. So, how does that compare with the synchronized patch, Stars Ensnared? Well, I'll add up everything at the end, but first, let's take a look at where we are so far. When I add up all the BC, concert tickets, weapon tickets, cub tickets, and bonus spending event tickets together, we get 100,840. The cost? 2,087 RC, or about $355. Now, this is still a staggering amount of money to spend on a game, but compared to the last patch, you are getting more pull currency for $100 less, at least if you stop buying packs right here. This is due to 2 things. First, there are more of the better value packs like Monthly Pass A, so you can get more good bundles and ignore the bad bundles. Second, there's the spending event bonuses. For those already dropping a couple $100, they provide more bang for your buck. However, Polaris Bond only debuted 1 character, while Stars Ensnared is debuting 3. This isn't enough pull currency to get 3 characters to SSS+, but maybe it doesn't have to. 2 of these 3 characters are A ranks, Teddy Decryptor and Bridget Ardeo. They are guaranteed at 10 pulls during their debut, so they are much cheaper to pull, but fortunately, you don't need to pull them at all because this patch just gives them to you at SSS+ rank for free. This is a new perk added specifically to the synchronized patch. Just earn 30 of their shards in the event shop to unlock them for free, then play the game normally over time to use up 6,000 milliliters of serum, that's the stamina, and if you do so before the patch ends, PGR will reward you with enough shards to evolve Teddy and Bridget to SSS+ rank. Not only is it free and easy, it's pretty quick too. Between daily stamina regeneration, the free top-up, and what you get from doing dailies, you can spend that much serum in 7 days. That means whether you're a spender or free-to-play, no one needs to pull for Teddy or Bridget. The only thing you could pull for is their signature weapon, and as A ranks, that's a pretty low priority anyway. So with 2 out of the 3 constructs out of the way, that brings us to Lina Oblivion. If we take another look at the tallies so far, there's already enough pull currency to pull her weapon once, her cub 3 times, and Luna herself 5 times, which will get her to SSS rank. This doesn't even touch on the free pulls you get from doing dailies, weeklies, and events, which will also be tripled for the duration of the patch. So, technically speaking, Teddy and Bridget won't cost you a dime, and you can fully invest in Luna for less than you would in the CN patch, thanks to the tripled good value bundles and spending events. But just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. We still have a few more bundles to get through, and this is where things start getting really, really expensive, so, brace yourself. Star Weaved at Night. I only counted 2 of these before, so let's add the last 2 to the tally as well. The Event R&D Pack A has a rate of 25.5 tickets to RC, which is better than buying pulls outright, but otherwise a pretty poor rate. There are 3 of them here. Event R&D Pack C is the most expensive pack at 600 RC each, with a rather poor rate of 25 BC per RC. And getting all 3 nearly doubles our expenses so far. Anyway, weekly bundles. There are 2 weekly R&D bundles. One has construct tickets and the other has weapon tickets. Unlike the other bundles, this one is not tripled for the synchronized patch, and you can only buy 1 of each per week. The rate here is pretty poor at 25 tickets per RC, and since there are 2 bundles per week and 6 weeks this patch, I'm adding 12 packs to the count. Event R&D Pack B has a rate of 23.4 tickets to RC, and there's actually 6 available. And lastly is the Weapon Resonance Bundle. This pack includes a 6-star weapon res material, but my rate calculations only compare pull currency to RC, and I'm not about to change the formula now. This leaves it with a 16.7 ticket to RC rate. And adding these last 3 to the count wraps up our spending spree and gets us to a grand total of 6,422 rainbow cards, or approximately $1,091.74. What that buys you is all the pull currency you see on screen, plus a bunch of other miscellaneous resources that I'm not going to bother editing in. If you add all the tickets in BC together, you get 217,340 tickets and BC. If you want to push your spending even higher, you could purchase Limitless BC in the cash shop, all the coatings, or even squeeze in a second subscription of the monthly passes before the patch ends. But I didn't want to overcomplicate things, so let's just leave it at this. So, up until this point, I've tried to be impartial and just give you the math. But I think it's high time I tell you what I think of all this. It goes without saying that nobody should buy every bundle in the shop. $1,000 is an absolutely outrageous amount of cash. And frankly, I don't see any reason to triple your spending for triple the characters. As I mentioned earlier, 2 of the 3 characters coming out in this banner are completely free to obtain and easily evolve to SSS+ rank. I wouldn't even recommend pulling for their signature weapons since A ranks aren't meta and high spenders will likely prefer to use their powerful S ranks in hard content instead. That means the only new character to invest in is Luna Oblivion. If you're accustomed to maxing out every S rank, you can actually get more pull currency for less cash compared to a regular patch, due to the tripled monthly passes and bonuses from the spending events. However, it's not just about money, it's also about time. With the increased speed of the patches, old and new characters are going to become outdated sooner, Luna included. I doubt she'll be replaced anytime soon, but the fact still stands that she'll have a shorter lifespan on Global compared to the Chinese server. And that shorter lifespan might make a high investment less worthwhile. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do, and I definitely am not qualified to give financial advice, but after doing all those calculations, here's my personal take. First, if you have the means to spend and you like to spend on PGR, don't spend anything more than you usually do this patch. You can focus on the good packs and ignore everything else. Second, PGR has always been pretty free-to-play friendly. That's what attracted me to this game in the first place, and there's no shame in enjoying playing the game for free or cutting your spending way back. If you change your mind and want to go full investment for a character, wait for a 100% rate-up banner. Historically, we get them a couple times a year, and there has always been one in July for the anniversary. Third, leave the devs feedback. This synchronized schedule is unprecedented and Kuro is listening. There's a survey in-game, so go ahead and use it. And lastly, it's okay to take a break or quit PGR completely. Games are meant to be fun, and if you're not having fun, they're not worth your time or your money. Don't get caught up in the sunk cost fallacy thinking you have to keep up with a game because you've already spent so much time and money on it. It doesn't matter the reason. If PGR is negatively affecting your life in any way, drop it. After all, nothing lasts forever, and this is especially true of gacha games. As for me, I'll be sticking around a little longer. What about you? Let me know in the comments and check out this video to see what gacha coatings are coming out in 2025. Oh, never did I think I'd be doing so much math to play video games. What am I doing with my